what social media also gives people a license to do is fucking bullshit. That's the problem that I fucking can't stand. I wish there was some bar of entry that people can't...
Saying whatever they want.
Saying whatever they want. It's like, I made £1 million, do it. No, you didn't. Like, no, you didn't. The quickest way to make yourself poor is to take get-rich-quick advice off poor people. Like, why are poor people advising people on how to get rich? You haven't got a fucking pot to piss in, mate. The only way you fail in my business is if you don't make the effort. That's the only component that will make you fail. So that's why when someone fails in my business, I don't lose a fucking wink of sleep about it, because we've done our bit. We've come up with our half. If you can't even get out of bed in the morning and put your fucking socks on, that's your problem. You've got some bigger problems in life waiting for you.
Welcome to another episode of the Physically Jacked, Financially Stacked podcast. Today we've got an awesome guest who's Tyron Ash. So one of the big things that Tyron's known as, you call yourself like king of real estate in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys know, my background is originally in a estate agency. I did that for 6-7 years. We're talking a bit off camera of this. So this is going to be a really fascinating conversation. If I was to give a 60-second synopsis on who you are and what you've done for anyone who doesn't know who you are, what would you say?
I think for me, I am the sort of person who effectively started off in a estate agency, high street working for £19,000 a year, deflated, went down the wrong path, ended up getting myself a prison sentence because of it, dug myself out of that, started at ground zero, started really researching the business end of it after I learnt the luxury real estate industry, and then started getting into the dynamics of building a business. And then now we've got a large luxury real estate firm in the UK. We had a television show on Channel 4 called Mega Mansion Hunters, and we now launched our Dubai division about 5-6 months ago, which is going really well. Not through one of a few challenges, and here I am. So yeah, that's the quick version.
Question: what agency did you work for out the gate?
So I worked on real high street agencies. I started at Connell's.
I know Connell's, okay.
Yeah, I started at Connell's.
This is random. Do you know a guy called Kevin Peel? Was he still there?
I couldn't tell.
What year did you start there?
Because, oh God, now you're asking me. I was 18, 19 years old. I don't want to tell everyone my age, but yeah. So that was. Fuck, I'm quite old now. That was 21 years ago. 19 years ago, and that was in Milton Keynes in Bletchley, on Bletchley High Street. My first sale was a shared ownership in Walnut Tree for £25,000. It was a shared ownership, and I earned £63 commission.
Spent it all at once. Yeah. What? It's interesting you coming from that, working for a corporate agency. What did you learn maybe from working within a corporate environment that now you have your own business that you think, like, I definitely don't want to fucking do that?
I think there's pluses and minuses to take from corporate structures. The first thing that is a plus is the organisation. I think that people confuse being creative in business with not being organised. So corporate life takes that to the extreme. It tells people when they've got half an hour to eat their lunch, what time they've got to be in, what time they've got to leave. And, it becomes very, very much a dictatorship for not a lot of money. So there's a lot of negatives that then come with that. Yes, the business gets organised, and a lot of the time it can mean that the business can be profitable because it's so organised, but it is at the expense of the people that are involved in it. Your top people in the business are lucky to earn sort of 60, 70, 80,000 pound a year, and we all know the tax implications on a PAYE. You're walking over about 4, 5, 6 grand in your bank a month. So it's not a lot. So there is a lot that I took with regards to the organisational aspect, but I didn't like everything else attached to it. One of the things for me was that I saw a massive opportunity in exploiting the real estate and estate agency market based on implementing a luxury agency that gears itself closer towards an Americanized commission-only structure where people are building their own brand within the brand and they're earning big money basically. And also, corporate also allows people to steal a living. That's the other thing, because often the people who are clawing off your bottom line at £2 grand a month, £3 grand a month for certain jobs aren't even worth £1,000 a month. They're just there and they hide in the corners and
fill the hole.
Yeah, they do, until eventually someone goes through the figures and goes, actually, what's this person done for the last 9 months? Let's get rid of them. So there's a lot of that in corporate life, you know, people acting like I call them busy fools.
And I think I really like that mentality, and a lot of like what we do with our own businesses, people are commission only, and that's where like you're incentivized to perform. Like you're either good or you're out the door, because like it's not going to work for you.
Oh, absolutely. I think I heard a saying, as this goes on, you'll know I've got a lot of sayings that I live by, but one of them was that poor people get paid on their time, rich people get paid on their results. And this one stuck with me a lot, because I remember when I started in luxury real estate and I was on a commission-only structure, and everyone, family members, people that knew me were like, you can't do that, they're not even paying you a salary. And I was like, yeah, but if I sell this house, I earn 10 grand. If I sell this house, I earn 12 grand. Yeah, if. I said, well, no one's going to give me 12 grand to not sell the house. I've got to get that. So I understood it completely. And I was like, you know, when can I start? I'm all for this, because I knew how good I was at the job. So people are very, very scared of taking zero salary because they call it security. Well, let's analyse security. Let's just say that on a secure job you're getting, well, the average salary is £26,000 a year. That's not a lot of money. It means you're probably taking about £2,000 a month, something like that, if you're lucky. What does £2,000 a month get you? Well, let's just say that you manage to, in the needle in a haystack, find an apartment or something to rent for £1,200 a month. That leaves you £200 a week to live on. I don't like those maths. And I know that, you know, I don't know where you're going to eat. I don't know what car you're going to drive. I don't know if you're going to join a gym. I don't know what you're going to do, but £2,000 a month, unfortunately, is absolutely not secure. I actually think there's more security in being on zero, because at least you've got the will to get up and do something. You know, when you're in the hamster wheel and you're getting £2,000 a month and you watch the bills come in, you pay them, you get left with a little bit of money, and then you need to go on holiday, so you put it on a credit card and you spend the next year paying that credit card off. That is a quick road to nowhere, and I would never ever get on it.
I think that's where people almost get pigeonholed in the fucking trap, though, and they can never get out of that, right? Particularly when you mentioned about the credit card cycle, because then any excess money they have, they put into paying that off, and then it's the same spiral for years and years and years. It's
crazy, and then they think. The funny thing is it's the mentality attached to it. I remember my brother Reese. He said once when we were all sat around the table, and he said, "Isn't it funny that when you're in that corporate environment, you'll be in an office and someone will get a promotion, so their salary will go from 26 to 32, and then they'll all go for drinks on a Friday and congratulate each other, well done on your promotion, blah, 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 and all this sort of stuff. But if your friend starts a business, no one fucking says anything. Yeah. And it's like, because actually, when you are around people who are in that environment, going up 2, 3, 4 grand on a salary or whatever it might be, you all know it's only a few £100 a month. It's not going to, you know, change your life in any way, shape or form. So of course you're happy to go for a few beers. If someone's trying to build a multi-million pound company, that's a bit of a threat to my mediocrity. I don't want to congratulate them. I'm definitely not going to do business with them, because I don't want to put my money in their pocket. It's like the mentality of it all changes, and that I noticed a lot.
Don't you think that's we can both say that because we're British, that's a British mentality? Because this is why I love Americans, because Americans would rather you went and you tried to start a business and it failed than you never tried at all. Whereas in the UK, they're like, you should never leave your job, you should go and stay in the safe job you have, like stay in the 9 to 5, don't step outside of your box.
I think it is exactly that in Britain. I think that, you know, I've had people just... The lesson I learned very, very quickly is when you pick the route that you're going to do and it's business, stop talking about it to people and just get on with it. Because I'm telling you now, you're not going to get the validation you want from the people you tell. Because I tell you why, because nobody wants you to do well. I think that's what people need to understand. Even your friendship group, even probably close members of your family, that's the worst part about it. Because the reality is that you're looking for validation on your idea. So you might go, I'm starting this business. it's a great idea, isn't it? I'm putting everything into it. And then your friends are going, yeah, but it's a bit risky, and I don't know, that market's been done, and blah, 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 blah. And you go, oh, well, that didn't go how I thought it was going to go. I feel a bit down now. You know, and then you're not as enthusiastic about it. The reality is, just shut the fuck up and get on with it, and don't put your head up until you start making money. And that's kind of what people's attitude to business really needs to be. You can't expect people to jump on board with your idea, because it's not their idea, and they don't actually want to see you get rich. No one wants to see anyone get wealthy. That's the reality.
I think one of the things you said there, that my opinion is, people procrastinate too much rather than just doing the thing. They talk about doing the thing, think about doing the thing, or planning about doing the thing, rather than just fucking starting.
Yes, paralysis through overanalysis. Yeah. That's a great saying that I love, because it's the overanalysis of a situation. Now, if you actually break down what analysis means, analysis is basically risk assessment. That's what it is. So when you're talking about risk assessing a career jump or a business or whatever it might be, I can tell you now, right? I can tell you now, categorically, there are more negatives than there are pros. The only pro is I'm going to make a lot of money, and then the rest of the list are negatives. So there's no point over-analysing all the negatives. Just analyse the process. Just say, what's the process? What do I need to do? And how am I going to sustain myself while I do that? Well, the first part of sustaining yourself while building a business, number one on the list is sacrifice. That's the number one thing. So the one thing that people aren't willing to do, and they attach lack of sacrifice with security. So they'll go, well, I'm not going to set up a business, it's too risky. No, it's not too risky. You're just not willing to sacrifice the things that you're used to doing in order to get that result. That's not risk. That's you effectively paralysing your own dreams through over-analysing the risk. And that is why people won't do it. For me, when I went self-employed, when I started the business, when I took all these risks, I didn't think about my lifestyle. What was I doing for that first period? I can tell you now, I was living on beans on toast. I went to the Sainsbury's downstairs at the block of my flats. I was living in Angel in North London, and I would buy a loaf of bread and I'd buy 6 tins of beans, and that'd be my lunch and dinner until I was making money. It cost me like about 5 quid, 6 quid. And that was my sacrifice. When I was actually earning money as a real estate agent, I was earning 10, 15, 12, 8, 9, 10 grand a month regularly. So I was eating in Mayfair, I was going partying, I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted. But the problem was I lived to my means. So I didn't actually have that much money. I was always like typical sales guy, thinking he's Charlie Big Bananas, and and it was gone. And I need to sell some more houses. That's how it was. And it was fun. But you start making some big boy decisions and thinking, I need to set up a business. Fucking hell, you can't be in Mayfair every week. Your mate's calling you, do you want to go for drinks on a Friday? Well, I've got no money, mate. I've just had to pay off 2 property portals and build a website and a CRM system and get all the graphic design and the logos done. Plus I've got a pipeline of properties that aren't going to exchange for about 4 months. I've got about 4 months of hard work to do. I can't afford a beer at the moment. I've got to just get on with it. So the sacrifice is what the people aren't willing to do. Here's another one. I've had people who've come into the business and then they've had a partner. They go, I've got kids. This is the best one. They always throw their kids under the bus. They go, I've got kids, my kids need me. Oh, do they? They need you, do they? Right, okay. So what do you think is going to happen when your kid's 15, 16 and his mates are all getting nice stuff for Christmas and you can't even afford to buy him anything good? Do you think he's going to care that you sat in staring at him going, I'm dad of the year? Get out there and earn some fucking money, because your kid's going to be pissed off when he can't go on a holiday and he doesn't get the football boots that he wants and he's got nothing for Christmas because you wanted security. It's nuts. And people, unfortunately, it's like a harsh truth, but people don't want to face that truth. So like, I can't stand that mentality. I can't even have friends that have that mentality because it makes me sick. I just think, do you understand how selfish you actually are?
that what you just said there really resonates, because one of the big things I think about is like you have to be selfish to be selfless.
Yeah.
Like you, by becoming the greatest version of you and achieving huge success, you can provide for the rest of your family and generations to come. It's how people can't understand that, I don't understand.
It's the most unselfish decision you're ever making in your life.
Yourself.
You're sacrificing yourself. Oh yeah, but he's only money motivated. Yeah, but why is he money motivated? Why does he need to earn 100 grand a month instead of 100 grand a year? It's because he wants to provide for his children, his mum, his dad, maybe his children's children. Who knows? Well, that takes some pretty big action. It's like, I remember some guy like commenting on one of my things, and he said, "Oh, money's not everything. You should be happy with your day-to-day life and be grateful." And I thought, listen, for an element of what he said, I agreed. You should be grateful for what you've got. But if you're not aspiring to do anything more, that's an extremely selfish decision, because that affects people. Because there might be a family member that gets ill. There might be a kid. This is a reality. There might be, you know, do you want your children going to school knowing they could fall into gangs? Do you want them to be at risk every time they walk to the bus stop? These are all products of mediocrity. That's the reality. And if you don't make selfish decisions on your career, then your future, you might not even have the kids yet. But if you're earning 2.5-3 grand a month and you're stuck on that hamster wheel and you're throwing a kid into that hamster wheel, you're in fucking trouble, mate. You're in trouble. And you are now going to be at the mercy of what life throws at you. You are now reactive to life. Life is not reactive to you. If you've got wealth, you go, do you know what? I want to put my kid in that private school. I want to make sure that they've got the best education and they're going to school with other kids whose parents are millionaires, and we can all do business together.
Money solves problems, right?
It does. And I think that there's a common misconception of like money doesn't make you happy. That's the best one. I know loads of depressed billionaires and blah. Yeah, there are, but they're depressed anyway. But they're just, you know, where they get their depression from isn't from having money. It probably alleviated it for a long time. It probably delayed the problem. But the problem that a lot of people with a lot of money have, and we spoke about this off camera, is they lose that bite. So the drive can go, and like that's the problem. They were their happiest when they were on the up. They were their happiest when they were climbing the hill, when they made their first million, when they got their first month where they earned 100 grand. I remember my first month I earned 100 grand, and I thought, fucking hell, I'm a fucking billionaire. I'm not, but like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like
and you remember those pivotal moments in your mind, right? I remember the first time we saw a fitness coaching program for 10 grand. Yes. And I remember being in my like little shitty wooden shed office in my house in Surrey, like fucking shouting, and then my wife at the time was like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. And I was like, we just sold this. I was like,
they're the ones you remember. And I remember, like, you know, it's that hustle, like, you know, when we talk about like for me, I was going down that route. Like when I had that, the UK was absolutely flying, and I thought, God, I've created this out of nothing, and we've got people earning serious money in the company. They're changing their lives. They're changing their families' lives. The business is thriving. We've had a TV show. I've got more money than I know what to do with. I'm driving a fucking £250,000 car. Life is fucking good. I'm eating where I want. I'm going to Mayfair every other day. This is it.
Completed it.
And something was missing still, and I was like, well, is this it? Like, you know, it was like that. So you know, I started losing that drive a little bit, and I started getting down a bit of a spiral of social drinking, and my health was deteriorating and all this sort of stuff. And that's why I come to Dubai, because I thought, right, I need a fucking mountain to climb. I need to get to the bottom of a mountain, look up and think, right, now this is a challenge. How am I going to start chipping away at this? And that's when it started, because I was going on holiday every, 2-3 times a year, and a lot of those holidays were like coming to Dubai, because it was the best time to come in the winter, because I was too rich to holiday anywhere else. So I was too rich to endure the weather. So I was like, sweet, let's go to Dubai. I'll go and stay in like Jumeirah Beach or wherever, and I was having a great time. But the problem was real estate was getting rammed down my throat. And suddenly I've got the concierge, a friend of mine, you know, he was saying to me, you need to really be jumping on the real estate end here. You know, you're missing a trick. And suddenly my holidays were getting ruined because I was thinking, God, I'm missing something here. And then I analysed it, and then I started thinking, okay, this can happen. I need to make this happen. And 4, 5, 6 months later, I was here. I was on a one-way flight to Dubai with all my belongings. And it was the most... I'll never forget that feeling, because that was like the weirdest feeling I've ever had in my life. Because I'd gone from thinking I was like cock of the walk, and I could do anything I wanted, and I was having lunch in the Bluebird every day, and I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted in Chelsea, and I loved life, it was good. So I was on a one-way flight to Dubai to go and stay in a one-bed apartment. And I was like, this is like, you know, my juices are flowing again, the adrenaline's going.
Off you go again,
yeah, the adrenaline's going. And that was when I got really excited about it, and I said to my missus, like, look, we're moving into a one-bed apartment. I'll make no bones about it, right? And I said, because we don't deserve to live in anything better at the moment. That's what I said. We don't deserve to live in anything better. So as you can imagine, she was ecstatic.
You're obviously good at sales to sell that. Right?
Yeah. It's like, just visualise it. And for 6 months we stayed in, like, hey, listen, I'm not saying we were staying in bloody Deira, but what I'm saying is we were in just a, you know, compared to what I usually live in, it was a very small one-bed apartment in Business Bay. And the reason I liked living in that one-bed apartment, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I got sick of it, but like, it was that I couldn't stand being in there. So I had to get out.
It creates pain, it creates drive, right?
Yeah, what am I sitting in there? It's pissing me off. So I was like, I need to get out, make something happen. And then the business started growing. We got good agents in, we were training them, we were getting all the up to speed with everything. And then, we moved out and we're in a nicer place now. But it's like, I love that. That's what gets me going. I love a challenge. The hunt's the best. It's the best. That's what really gets me up in the morning. I need to kill. I can't sit and be comfortable.
But that's the definition of entrepreneurship, and you very quickly can see who has that and who doesn't, because you're at the point where you don't need to fucking climb this mountain. I'm in a similar point where I don't need to really do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But I fucking love it and excited to do it, because it's like, it pushes you to get to the next level.
You have to do it. It's the growth you get with it is incomprehensible. It's so big. Like, what I love about Dubai, in the UK, it's like, okay, yeah, you've done well, and everyone kind of like, you know, it feathers your ego a little bit. And I'd walk into, oh, Ty, yeah, love what you've done, love what the TV show, and it's great. And, you know, your ego gets big and you think you're fucking the man.
Big balls, yeah.
You do. And Dubai comes and that's all gone. So suddenly I'm like this new kid, not kid, but like, you know, people know who I am, they know the business and stuff. But now it's like, well, you ain't going to do it here. You know, you're not going to do it here. There's people, there's companies that have been 15, 20 years, have got 500 agents. Good for them. So, but I spent 5-6 months analysing this market. I spent 5 months analysing who my competition are, how their businesses are set up, where the weaknesses are, how we're going to exploit it. If people think that I've come here to just take a back seat, I haven't. Like, we are going to dislodge massively how the real estate market, especially for brokers, is out here. We know the weaknesses. We know that people, the one thing brokers lack out here, even if they're earning a lot of money, is significance. So for me, significance is actually one of, I think it's probably, besides kind of food, water and all that sort of stuff, it's one of the greatest human needs. It's, if you think about analysing significance, it's why somebody might start an OnlyFans account because they don't get attention from the opposite sex. So suddenly they lose a bit of weight, stick on some underwear, and suddenly they've got people paying for their whatever. Or it might be the kid who got bullied in high school and suddenly turns into a crazy murderer. He wants significance. He wants his face on the front page, and he wants to walk into prison. Everyone goes, oh, that's that crazy murderer. And he doesn't care that he spends 25 years of his life in prison. He gets his significance.
A form of status, right?
Yeah, exactly. And actually, social media is a massive driver for that. Is everybody wants significance. So for me, if I was a real estate broker out here and I've been working for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, even if I'm earning 30, 40, 50,000 pounds a month, well done, you're in Dubai. Everyone's got money out here. Like, money actually doesn't make you unique, and that's the funny thing with Dubai. Money doesn't make you unique. Everyone's got money.
That's, I think, the weirdest perspective. And that's one of the reasons I came here as well. Is I felt in the UK I was like big fish, small pond. Like, I came here and there was like dudes in my fucking car park with Bugattis and stuff, and I'm like, I feel really broken, like insignificant suddenly, right?
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I tell you now, it messed with my head in a positive way, but it messed with me a lot, because you're just not that big a deal.
But then this is, for me, I don't know if you find the same, that the standard of the bar of what's acceptable becomes so high.
Yes.
That you just push for greatness, and like what would be seen as extreme success in the UK is like shit now.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So like, you're there and you walk into the gym and you see like £3-4 million worth of cars parked up outside the front, and you think, fucking hell, I've got to work harder. Like, you know, and
it's that daily reminder though, right?
It's nuts. And that is brilliant about it. But then I relate that to like, okay, if I was a real estate broker, one of the things that would irritate me would be I'm bringing all of this money effectively into this company that I work for, and I'm just another name under that massive banner, that big reception with the huge logo that's so big, just to remind you that you ain't really that significant.
Part of the machine. And
you're another little cog in the machine. And if you don't earn this company 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month or whatever, don't worry, someone else will do it. That ain't real estate for me. Real estate for me is the complete opposite of that. If you look at like the biggest realtors in the world, you look at like your Ryan Serhants, Josh Altman, Frederick Eklund, I think his name is, yeah. You look at these guys, right? Funny enough, I don't know if Ryan Serhant set his own one up, but what I'm saying is they all were part of real estate brokerages, okay? So I think Ryan Serhant was part of Nest Seekers at the time. I don't think he is anymore. Frederick Eklund is part of Douglas Elliman. Even like Gavin Rubinstein in Australia is a fucking superstar. He's rolling around in a Urus. He's got his team that are banging out money, and he's part of a brokerage. But they're the fucking superstars. They're the ones with their faces on the billboards. They're the ones with the huge social media. And the order it goes in is this: superstar realtor, superstar realtor's team, and they're just fucking on it, selling everything in partnership with the brokerage that supports them and gives them the foundation platform, to do it, basically. The platform. That's what real estate is. In Dubai, it's real estate brokerage in huge font where you can't even, I don't even know where they get signs this big in reception. And then some guy will be coming in earning more money than he knows what to do with, and he's just being reminded that he's another robot in this big machine, like you said, or another cog in this machine. And that for me is what lacks significantly. They can do a bit of social media content, but they are made to look like employees. And for me, Tyron Ash agents, you just have to go onto their profiles. It's all about the agent. You know, I'm not saying to somebody you need to wear a badly fitting blue suit. I'm not saying that you need to wear a tie that you don't even know how to do it properly and the top button's not done up. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whatever your style is, you need to own that. So we've got like one guy who wears pinstripe suits, and then we've got another guy who wears a designer t-shirt or an open Ralph shirt. Whatever your style is, own it, but be your brand. Personal brand is a massive part of Tyron Ash International. That's why, because I want superstars created. I want the next Ryan Serhant created. I want the next Josh Altman created. I want these people created within Tyron Ash International. And what I love about Dubai is that even if your brokerages are turning over absolute dough, absolute money, I couldn't name you one of them that are in there doing absolute numbers. Do you know why? Because you don't allow them to take centre stage.
To take credit for it?
No.
Do you think that's because they're worried about them being poached by other agencies?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're trying to like hide them almost.
100%. I couldn't give you any names. And the funny thing is that is why it's very ego driven, by the people who own the brokerages. So a lot of them, what you'll see is these giant brokerages with like 400 or 500 people in there. And it looks great, like, you know, hats off to you. You turn over enough money to make put an office together like that, great. But, you know, we all know the figures. I can tell you the numbers now. Dubai has anywhere between an 87 to 95% failure rate for real estate agents. 87 to 95%. 87 is a good end.
What's the time frame for that?
I reckon it's within 6 to 12 months. It's still going to be no more than that. But I would let's just call it 12. When you talk about that, and then you talk about your bang for your buck with regards to the performance of an agent, like, we fire bad agents. I could tell you, I'll go on record now to say that if someone comes in and they're not doing their social media, they're not making their calls, they're not trying to build their business, they're not trying to earn £200,000 plus a year, this is not the place for you. I make that very clear when they join the business. I don't want them. They're bad energy. In fact, I call them cancers of business. I think negativity spreads like wildfire. It's like a bad fruit spread into the next fruit. If you leave it in the basket, the whole basket will just be moldy. And actually, these companies, a lot of them, you know, it works for them. I'm not saying it in a way where it's like I think they're better than them. I just think it's that I know that if you're working on even an 80% failure rate, that means of your 500 staff you've got in there, how many of them are actually making your money? And how much is that 500 people walking around an office just to fluff your own ego? So you've got a big office at the back that no one's allowed in, and you can sit through the glass and see what everyone's doing. I just think it's bullshit.
Well, I think a lot of businesses like that, House of Cards, right?
Yeah.
It's just like a show, and I think that's where, with the type of model, that's why like the US real estate market versus the UK one, it's actually much more favourable for people to earn money based upon performance rather than just fucking turning up.
Yeah, I think as well, it's like a lot of what's happening where people are arriving in Dubai is they're getting stuck in like a really unattractive like lettings role, and they're like running around the marina on 100 appointments a day on a you know, it's that's not what they signed up for. They were watching Selling Sunset, they were watching $1 Million Listing, and they went, I can do a bit of that. Then the roadshow rocks into town, and they're like, oh yeah, do you want to be a Dubai agent? And bang, I go. And it's like, there are some success stories, and like, you know, I respect anyone who's come here and made money and is now changing their life, and don't get it twisted at all. I absolutely love real estate. Like, for me, it's what I live and breathe. But I also know how I felt as an agent. Most people who run real estate companies weren't actually agents themselves, and actually for me, I'm a grassroots agent. I've done it from the first deal I told you about where I earned about 60 quid. I've sold luxury houses, 3-bed semis, 2-ups, 2-downs, council flats. I've sold the lot. And I know how hard it is to be good at the job. And I know that if you've just flown over here to try and draw a winning lottery ticket, you might. But that's not what real estate is. And actually, I've seen people do it. We had somebody in our business who earned nearly about £100,000 net commission in one deal, and they got lucky. And I said to them, you've got lucky, and you need to use that now as a platform to build the business, learn the industry, and actually become greater. You've got a buffer that everyone wishes they had. Did he listen? No.
I was about to ask that. What did he do from then? He spanked it all.
Yeah, it's broke again. And that's just how it works. And I think that anyone who's had the fortune of hitting a big deal, I think, shit, that was easy. It's not that easy. And
you don't know when the next one's going to be either, right?
Exactly. If you don't have a sustainable process and sustainable ability to grow it as your own business, that pile will just keep getting chipped at. And let's face it, if you've even earned £1 million from a deal and you think, yes, I'm a millionaire, it will get chipped down very, very quick when you start buying a nice car. Suddenly you roll around a Ferrari, you've suddenly got an RM on your wrist, maybe a Patek as well. You're eating in the nicest restaurants, you're buying expensive clothes. £1 million goes fucking fast, mate. I can tell you that for free. It goes fast. And like, you have to have a plan to build it further. Otherwise, the pile will diminish. It will go.
In terms of what you mentioned there, it almost reminds me of business in general. That you always see, like, and we spoke about this. The UK real estate industry was struggling a bit this year. That you have cycles of like seasons when it's like I'm like fucking God reincarnated and like printing money, and then you other times you're like fucking bang your head against the wall. I think the more you go through that, the more you learn like when it's really good, appreciate it, and also don't be reckless with the money.
100%.
If you got anything like that you've learned through those processes and ups and downs?
Yeah, I think I could openly tell you that, as the interest rates hiked up and, it got stiff in the UK, it got stiff right across the UK. We had 4-month period that was the hardest we've ever had. It was the lowest in sales we've ever done in 4 years. And then off the back of those 4 months, we weathered the storm. We made sure that we were getting massive amounts of listings. We were pricing things correctly. We were making sure that we were picking up portfolios of people that needed to offload them, and we started putting deals together in more creative ways. This is through the training that I give, and we hit our highest sales months ever in the history. So we went from 4 months of being the lowest sales months ever through a lot of market conditions and stuff to 2-3 months of being the highest recorded sales months we've ever had. So in essence, you have to make hay while the sun shines. You have to be constantly picking up listings and working the listings correctly. Don't list for ego. Listing property has a process attached to it. An owner must have facts, figures and data about where that property is sitting in the market. They must know what's a realistic price that they should be achieving, ballpark figure. Don't just tell people what they want to hear. Then you've got to also say, what's your actual strategy for getting those properties sold? Are you just going to stick it online and hope for the best? Have you got a proper pricing strategy? Have you got a social media strategy? Have you got an open house strategy? Have you got a door knocking strategy? All of these different things that we provide for an owner basically shows them we've got absolutely no stone being left unturned, so that when we present you offers, there's facts, figures, data, basically a case provided to say, look, every incremental detail, right down to your lowest offers, your feedback, through to your highest offer and your silver bullet, your highest offer that we can give you in the market at the moment. We think you should take this offer based on all of these circumstances. That's what a real estate agent does. Sticking something on and just hoping it sells, you will get found out. And it's when the market gets hard, that's basically the tide going out, and you'll find out who's been swimming with no trunks on.
That's a good analogy to put it.
Yeah.
One of the things you mentioned earlier on when we were speaking is that obviously you have some issues in terms of like criminal convictions.
Yeah.
Would you mind talking about like what happened with that, and then how you overcame that afterwards?
Yeah, I mean it's no secret, that in 2015 I was convicted for basically intent to supply Class A. So I know a lot of people are going through this as well. It's the classic struggle of earning mediocre money and having an urgency to earn more money and not really knowing how to do it. So naturally, it's very easy to bump into people who are doing it and saying, yeah, I'm making this much, I made £1,000 last week, I did this and blah, blah, blah. All you got to do is serve it up to your friends and all this sort of stuff. Really, like, when I look back, it was like, this seems like logical. It was very business driven. It was, weird. and it just escalated, and a few people involved got kind of caught, and I was in that sort of that group, and it come on top, and next thing you know, I can remember about 2 or 3 different things that, if you've got like a highlight reel in your head, you don't remember everything, but you remember certain things. One of them was my first meeting with a solicitor. That meeting with a solicitor, you're praying they're going to tell you something that's going to get you out of it. And the first thing he said is, you're looking at about 3 years. I went, what do you mean I'm looking at about 3 years? Yeah, you'll go to prison for about 3 years. I was like, what? I can't go to prison. That's ridiculous. I was only like, you can't come to terms. You can't come to terms with someone telling you that. Certainly not for the first time. Probably people who are in and out, yeah, it's water off a duck's back. For me, it was not water off a duck's back. This was not okay. I was like, I'm not going to prison. I can't do prison. We've got to fight it. We've got, where's Johnny Cochran? Get him involved. Anything. It was just, I was not cut out for it, right? I shouldn't have been there in the first place. I made a bad decision. I'm stupid. I'll do whatever. It was one of all these things that go through your head, like, I shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, I was on bail for like 12, 13 months. So that was painful in itself because you just knew this day was coming along. I remember having to go with my mum to Milton Keynes shopping centre to go shopping for prison clothes because you can't have you've got to have grey nondescript tracksuits with small logos and all this sort of stuff. It was fucking horrendous. And then next day went to court and bang, I was in and out of there so fast. It was 40 months. And the other thing that stuck out was the lady prison officer who I was cuffed to. She said, 14 months, that's not too bad, is it? And I went, I don't think he said 14, I think he said 40. And she went, oh, let me check. Comes back, yeah, it was 40. I was like, fucking hell, I just couldn't believe it. And then I was the first in, so I sat in the holding cell all day. And it was just, there's nothing to do. You're staring at, imagine just staring at a ceiling for 10 hours, 8 hours. Time just stood still. You didn't know what time of the day it was, anything. Anyway, so that was it. Got taken into Wood Hill, which was effectively, it's a Category A prison, but it's a dispersal prison. So you're there for 6 weeks. And I mean, it was nuts because you still can't believe it. And the other thing that stuck out was when I sat and I looked at the charge sheet, and it's got the date of entry, the date of charge, and then it's got your date of release, and your date of release has a different year on it, and it's March. So how can it have a different year? All these things are going in your head. I can't explain it, but fuck me, it wallops you. It really, really knocks you for six. And the funny thing is, I mean, I just made mistakes to try and make quick money. It wasn't because I was trying to be in the next series of Top Boy or anything like that. It was literally I was just this white collar guy that was trying to make a bit of dough on the side, and I got caught and I got slammed for it as well, So that taught me some horrific lessons, some lessons of, and the funny thing is even my worst days here, in my worst days in life now, I would have prayed for them days back then. So even when things go hard and everyone's panicking, I'm just you know what, don't worry about it. It's not
perspective, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm very resilient because I remember when I, got told when I could eat. I remember having to share a cell with very questionable characters where you're pretty much sleeping with one eye open. You don't know if they're gonna flip, you don't know who they are, you don't know, there's rumours this person's in for this, especially in the dispersal jail when it's you are rooming with people on remand for murders and stuff like that. So you think you got it bad. These people are God, some of the stories you heard of how people are in there and what they've done, fucking hell, you don't know this stuff goes on.
Which is swept on the radar.
Oh, well, you never hear about it. I could tell you stories and I'd be thinking, that couldn't have happened. And then someone will go, yeah, look, have a look at this newspaper clipping or whatever. And you think, my God, what lives are people leading to go down? How does it get that bad that you end up doing something like that? It's insane. And the best way I could describe it is, it's the closest thing to being dead without actually being dead. I know that sounds weird, but it's you pass through a portal where you don't exist anymore, and that's what it is.
Just off the grid almost.
You just disappear. You disappear. Your family will make the effort to come. Everyone forgets about you. It's you're dead. I swear, it's a bit if someone dies, and then everyone puts up the posts, and for about a week everyone's RIP and all this stuff, and then everyone gets on with their life. That's what happens when you go to prison. Except you don't even get the RIP. It's just so and so went to prison, scumbag, and then oh, by the way, he's back out 2 years later. And that's kind of how it happens.
Did you serve all 40 months? Was it 2 years?
No, so you do half. I did 16 months in there. There was 6 of them were in DCAT, and there was 4 months on tag as well. It was weird because I got a job in agency and I didn't tell them I was on tag, so I had to get an extension from the probation officer because I had to say, look, I work till 6 o'clock. It's an hour to drive home because I was driving from Milton Keynes to North London. I remember I used to be really conscious of it because I'd have my sock pulled over my tag.
When you sit down and your trousers come up.
Really chunky thing on my leg. Oh God, it was crazy. And like I just and you know and that was but that was like the most humbling experience. I would never want anyone to go through it. You shouldn't have to go through that to learn lessons. But for me, I was so here, there and everywhere. My brain was a bit all over the place. I had great ideas, but I was also looking for shortcuts. And the greatest thing I took out of it is you can't take shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. Like you can't take shortcuts in life. You will. There's a saying I think I heard in prison, which was every dog has his day. And you know, the problem is that some people, they get so deep into it and they're actually not bad people. That's the funny thing. Don't be wrong, there are some fucking scumbags in there, but there are some good people that have just made bad decisions. And sometimes if you're in too deep, then the consequences are too heavy. If you get a 12 or a 15 or a 20 stretch because you were suddenly fucking flying in kilograms, you're in a bit of trouble. You know what I mean? You know, you might be a good person and you might have only been doing it for money, but you are breaking the law on a catastrophic level, a massive level. You know, if you're making a bit of money on the side, you can bounce back from it. So there was a lot of things that I learnt there that were just chaotic. And I was in Doncaster in Ramby. I watched the wing get taken over by prisoners, and like there was riots, you know, if you ever seen the films and there's like the netting in the middle,
yeah,
they were jumping on the nettings, pull tables over, they were fighting the officers. It was chaos. I just looked out of this window and I got pushed by one of the officers because they were just pushing you into cells because once they shut the door, you lock. So I was in with this random guy I never spoke to in my life, and me and him were sat in there for 8 hours because you just locked in this cell. And I was looking through this window and watching chaos unfold, and I just thought, my God, this can't be real. It was like some of the memories I've got in my head, and it's like watching a film. It's like I couldn't believe I watched it. And I just remembered the first day I was there, I called my dad on the blue box phone on the wall, and I was like, if I could show you what I'm looking at, you just wouldn't believe it. It's like you just wouldn't believe it. It's like everything you've seen in a film.
It's like stereotypical prison stuff.
It's that, and it's worse. Really? You think they exaggerate it for films? They don't get it right in films, because it's actually a scary place. Like, it's not scary for everyone. You know, you hear like the rumours of like, you know, you can't go to the showers and you can't do this and all that sort of stuff. Listen, if you're not a problem and you're not looking for trouble, you won't get any trouble. Like, you won't. You've got to be very, very unlucky. It's usually the people that are doing things in there. You know, trouble attracts trouble. If you've got a crackhead and he's borrowing money for drugs and he's doing this and robbing that person, all that sort of stuff's going on. I watch people get attacked, stabbed, sliced over a packet of tobacco. Because it's the respect. It's like, because your currency in there was these packet of rolling tobacco. It's like gold dust. You get a haircut. It's fucking mind blowing when I talk about it, because I feel so far away from it. But I'm going back into the memory bank. But like, you get a haircut, and the guy would charge you half a pack of tobacco, and I didn't smoke, so I'd have to buy this tobacco off some random fucking guy. And go, there you go, mate. And then he cut my hair. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
How do you get the money in the first place?
Oh, yeah. So you can't obviously do cash. So what happens is, this is how a lot of fights started in there, was you get this thing called a canteen sheet. And basically it gives you an order of like what you're allowed from a spend. Your family will send money and it gets held on your account, but you're only allowed £20-25 a week to spend on this canteen sheet. This is to buy
max.
Yeah, this is to buy external goods from like a supermarket. So say you wanted like some sweets or ingredients or fruits or all the stuff that you're not going to get that provided by the prison. That's what you buy on it. You get some very like, it's sad because you get some very poor people and they don't have any money, not even 20 quid being put on their canteen sheet from family. So you would buy the tobacco, or what I'd do is I'd say to someone, have you got half a tobacco to pay the fucking barber? And then I'd pay him, but I'd have to give him a whole one back. It's just nuts. And that's how it kind of worked. And there's all these deals being done. It's all this, it's got its own currency going on. It's fucking nuts. And like, so you'd have, there's another one, there'd be someone like on the hall, would have a shop. So what they'd do is they'd have a shop where they'd have all these boxes of like Skittles and Maltesers and all this. And what the deal was is you'd take one, and on your canteen you'd give him 2 back. So that's how the business worked. And then every now and then the shop would just get robbed by someone, and then they go, oh, fucking so-and-so shop's just been robbed, and you can see some crackhead running around with loads of Skittles in his hands. It's just, the thing is chaos. It's chaos. And it's like, it's one thing that when I watch like the prison movies and stuff like that, they miss all these details. And I wish they'd sit down with people in it and actually get all these little details, because it's the intricate details that make it the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen. Because the way humans interact, you don't know how bad society is until you see it there. And you'll get the white collar crime guys, and they're thrown into this, and they just can't fucking believe it. They can't believe it. It's, they're well spoken, they're from private schools, all this stuff, and then you've got a guy in the same cell as him who's got no money for tobacco, so he's smoking a tea bag. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But it taught me some unbelievable life lessons, like crazy life lessons, like made me realise that you're not above the law. You can't take shortcuts. You can't do this stuff. Like, and it also made me very driven to not put my family through that again. That was, I could deal with it. I'm a very resilient guy, but like, it hurt my mum, hurt my dad, hurt people very close to me a lot. Seeing how much it hurt them was the thing that hurt me the most. Them having to travel 2-3 hours to a visiting hall. I used to have panic attacks in the visiting halls. It was weird because I was always all right in the actual environment. I'm kind of quite streetwise. I know how to get about. I get on with people, and it's very easy for me. But sitting in a visiting hall, and you can see parents, and they're asking you questions like, how's it going and all this, and you're trying to make out you're all right, and you're fucking pissed off. And I used to start feeling dizzy. I used to start feeling like having anxiety attacks. I'm trying to control these anxiety attacks in the visiting hall. It was a weird process, because you just know they're so fucking pissed off and disappointed with you, and they're trying to be nice and keep upbeat, and they've just had to wait and get patted down in the entry hall, in the visiting hall, as they're coming in, and because people sneak things in, so they're being treated like criminals themselves, my mum, my dad. It's just horrible. And like, then you're sitting there and you get to have like a chicken burger or something and pretend life's good, and it's fucking shit. And I going back, I wish they didn't come, but I wanted to see them, but I just hated them coming. It was my worst time was the visiting. What did you do when you came straight out of there? How did you feel? Weirdly, what was happening is I had a few home visits before, and when I'd go home, everyone was like so nice to me, and they were like, "What, you were allowed to go home and then go back to prison?" Yeah, it was like a part of D category. So like when you get to the open prison, they start testing you to make sure you're not going to run away and all this stuff. So you get these signed off home visits like for a weekend once a month or whatever, and you'd go back and you'd spend 2 days at home, and then you'd come back, return at a certain time, and that'd be the prison's way of testing that you're integrating back into society and you're not going to go and rob a bank or whatever it is that they're worried about. So when I left, I thought it was all going to be that kind of vibe, and it wasn't. It was like my dad picked me up, and I was all like happy, yeah, I'm out, brilliant. And he had just had a face like fucking thunder. It was not the welcoming party that I expected. It was basically, you know, don't ever, if you put your family through this again, you are going to be disowned. Basically, this can't happen. You get one of these. You get one of these. That's it. And I thought, fuck. And it was a quiet car journey home, and I was reflecting a lot. I was crying quite a bit. I was very, very disappointed in myself. I looked like a bag of shit. Everything was just like, where do you go? What's your first thing you do? All these thoughts are going on in my mind. And you know, that was a really, really weird part, was thinking to yourself, what's the first thing you do? People also panic act. The reason I think people they end up getting back into the same crimes they commit is they learn a lesson short term, but they don't learn it long term. So what they'll do is they'll see their friends who are earning money, they'll see all these things, and they'll go, I need to earn money, I need to get back up to speed as quick as possible so I can go out with the lads.
And they'll take the easy route to get there again.
And then they go back to the same thing. They go, oh, well, if I just do this on the side, oh, it's not this.
I won't get caught again.
I won't get caught again, I'll be smarter. I'm doing it with this person now, not that person, blah, blah, blah. And then they get fucked for it. And actually, just wait. Like, you have cocked up. You now have to go through that period of rebuilding and becoming an integral part of society. And that doesn't happen overnight. And that's what I had to do. I mean, God, like, I talk about, like, you know, I was a bloody axe murderer. It's like I was as lower level person in this crime as you could get. But I got caught, and I thought it was a very harsh sentence for what I got, to be honest. They could have stuck me in for 6 months, slapped me on the wrist, and they'd never heard from me again. Do you know what I'm saying? I think they should be looking at things, you know, it's a waste of resources. You don't need to stick me in for 40 months or 20 or whatever. It's too long. It's too long. And, like, sometimes I think certain crimes deserve a very heavy punishment. Other people, I think they're better off using their resources to monitor that people integrate quicker back into society. But that's another debate, you know.
What would you say is the biggest business lesson you learned from that process? Must be things you've taken from that. I imagine it's made you a much more fucking determined individual coming back off of that.
Yeah, I think the big one was visualising, you know, taking action. Imagine making a decision. Let's say you were being released in 6 months or 5 months. Imagine making a decision that you were going to succeed in business 5 months before you were out. So you've got no resources, you've got maybe a pen and paper at best, and you've got nothing but your ideas, and you've got that for 5 months. That was like going to military school for visualization and manifestation, which I'm not a massive fan of manifesting and all that stuff. I think it's a bit of a cliche. I think you can't walk into your garden, and I think Tony Robbins said, and say, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. If there's weeds in your pavement, there's weeds in your pavement. Just like you can't sit in your apartment and say, I'm going to have £1 million, I'm going to have £1 million. No one's going to knock on your door and just give you £1 million. Like, there's action and there's all these things attached to it. But I conditioned my brain for 5 months into all of the intricate details that I was going to achieve. Imagine there was a shelf above where I laid in my bed, and the shelf was covered from top to bottom in post-it notes. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to own a Lamborghini. All of these different things. I'm going to run a business. I'm going to be, and you know, I'm going to respect my family. I'm going to do things for my mum. I'm going to make my dad proud. I'm going to do all this stuff was like written, and I would repeat it. And I had nothing else to do, so I was literally repeating this stuff back to me, like day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, to the point where it was like as normal as breathing to me. I would say it I'd be able to recite everything that was on the bottom of these post-it notes without looking at them. I'd do it as I had my eyes closed and I was going to sleep. It was a weird ritual that I was going through, and I conditioned my brain so much, and that was what it is that it taught me that if I can focus on a goal in that environment and execute it, there's absolutely no excuse. That's why I don't take people's excuses. I think that's actually why I don't. when I think to myself, why do I not listen to people's reasons when they say they can't do it? And I just think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. You got kids, well, tell your fucking missus to look after them. You're busy at work, well, get a new job. Get a part-time job, scale down all your luxuries in life and go and work 10 hours a day in real estate. You know, there's always an option. It's whether you want it enough.
What are you willing to sacrifice?
And we go back to sacrifice.
Because there's a cost to everything. And there's a saying someone said to me before is that, like, choose your suffering. Like, you can choose to suffer now intensely, or you can suffer for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And the choice is yours.
Oh, it's so true. And, like, people just don't understand it. They just don't understand what is required to make those sort of moves. And, like, everybody, the problem is as well, this is probably, if I said what's my biggest gripe with, like, society now, and especially business, I mean, there's lots of other things you can have a go at, but I'm talking about business, right, is actually social media itself. Weirdly, social media is, I know it's yours and it's certainly one of mine, is probably the biggest tool actually that we have. But what social media also gives people a license to do is fucking bullshit. That's the problem that I fucking can't stand. I wish there was some bar of entry that people can't, because nothing stops someone
saying whatever they want.
It's like, I made £1 million, do it. No, you didn't. Like, no, you didn't. What they're doing is they're trying to fool people into thinking they're rich so they can then make a business to make money off the back of people paying them to
learn.
But you haven't done it in the first place.
That's the biggest gripe in what I do with the fitness business side.
I bet there's
which is why I put up a fucking post the other day of like two Common Club awards because no one else fucking got it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
so
amazing.
It's like there's a saying already the other day. It's like men lie, women lie, results don't lie.
Oh, it's
and
true.
It's like the fucking. Just some things are undisputed. You can't fucking testify at some point.
I've seen it, man. It's like people come up. They like. I've seen it. People like even left my business, right, and then they just like start a new business, cool, and then they just lie, and it's like, just go on their fucking website, go on their like Rightmove listings, see how many listings they've got, because obviously I'm real estate. See how many listings they've got. See if it's in the hundreds or if it's 5 or 10 or 15. Because I wouldn't be taking advice off that person. I'd be saying, you know, and I put up a saying the other day on my Instagram, and it was the quickest way to make yourself poor is to take get rich quick advice off poor people. Like, why are poor people advising people on how to get rich? You haven't got a fucking pot to piss in, mate. Like, I'm not being funny, but I would never in a million years, as an agent, as a if I was getting in the fitness industry, whatever it might be, I'd be going to someone and going, has he done it or she done it? Like, and I mean, have they done it? Not saying they're doing it, done it. Like, have they fucking done it? And if they've done it, then there is tangible results that you can now reverse engineer from the result that they've done, which you can apply, and you'll find yourself on that same timeline. If that person has no money, and they're saying they have money, and they're saying they achieved this when they fucking didn't, then you are just about to waste a shitload of time and money. And then you're going to go, business didn't work for me, fitness industry didn't work for me, real estate wasn't for me. No, you just picked a fucking fraud to try and advise you because they've got no money themselves, so they're trying to rip you off for your money, thinking that because you might be stupid enough to go along with it. And and that's my gripe, is that I worked. There's people in my industry that I respect. I don't particularly like some of them, but I respect them. And the reason I respect them is because they've done it. That's why they have my respect. That's why they have my respect. I am not a hater. I've never been a hater. If someone makes money doing something, I will commend them whether I dislike them or like them, because
they still did it, right?
They did it. They don't need a well done from me to know that they've done it. Their bank account tells them. And that is why they have my respect. When I see what can only be described as like charlatans, like complete fucking frauds, going onto the internet and saying, I've done this, I've built this, click here and follow my this. I'm like, no, you haven't. You've not done it. Like, people who are signing up for this stuff, why don't you ask them some questions? Like, really ask them.
This is an example in terms of what I say to people. It's like, ask them, did they have a fitness business? And if they said yes, do you still have it or did you sell it? Because if you don't still have it and you didn't sell it, it was shit and it didn't work in the first place.
It's a good place to start. Absolutely. I think that, you know, social media gives people the kind of license to say what they want, and there's no repercussions. Now the problem is, right, I'll tell you where the repercussions fall. The repercussions fall on the idiots that send the money. They're the people that suffer. Because when people come into Tyron International, there are people that we've not succeeded with every agent. There's been a turnover rate, of course. But we have got the systems and the training and the processes that I've gone through with a fine tooth comb, where I've made it so accessible. I've got meetings reiterating every day. We've got live training sessions. We've got a training library of every single subject broken down into bite-sized pieces. So you just have to be on the way to a market appraisal, and you can flick on the market appraisal video and renew what you need to know to go into that meeting. Or you've got senior people that you can bounce off and get the information. What I'm getting at is that the only way you fail in my business is if you don't make the effort. That's the only component that will make you fail. Everything else is there for you. So that's why when someone fails in my business, I don't lose a fucking wink of sleep about it, because we've done our bit. We've come up with our half. If you can't even get out of bed in the morning and put your fucking socks on, that's your problem. You've got some bigger problems in life waiting for you. But if you've got someone, here's the flip side of it. If you've got someone who isn't that person, someone who just happened to have got sucked into some idiot's marketing and actually really wants to change their life, probably has the last £1,000 or £2,000 or £5,000 of disposable cash that they've got, probably doesn't come from a wealthy family, but wants to break the cycle. And instead of coming into contact with me or in your industry and you, they come into contact with a fraud, they're going to lose that money.
And they'll never believe they can do it again.
And they won't even get the chance, because they'll get scared, they get burnt, their fingers are burnt. And they go, fucking hell, I tried real estate, I tried being a fitness influencer or growing my fitness business. It wasn't for me, it didn't work. But, you know, it's because you fucking sent money to a dickhead. That's why.
And there's a lot of them around.
Yeah, there's so many. Do your due diligence. That's what I say to people. Do your due diligence. I know you're excited, right? That's the other thing. Everyone's excited. But, you know, even Del Boy used to take his suitcase to the market and make sales, but the watches never worked. You know, what I'm saying is that those people will make sales and make a living, but don't make sure you're not buying it off Del Boy. Make sure that you're
getting the real deal.
Getting the real deal, because it will burn you. And your ignorance, because you're committed to the process, you will put your belief in this person because you want it to happen.
It's cognitive bias, and you believe anything at that point.
Well, you're committed. You're pot committed, aren't you? It's a bit like playing poker. You've shoved all in. You've got no fucking choice now. You better hope the fucking hand comes out.
You got to ride it out. Yeah,
yeah. Like you're pot committed, and that's what I find quite sad. Is that, like, I love hearing and speaking to and feeling the energy of people that want to fucking make a change. I absolutely love it, because when I'm around people like that, it doesn't matter if you've made a load of money, it doesn't matter if you don't, I don't care. Like, what I love is that I can tell when if that person's going to succeed based on those interactions. I know that I think to myself, if you're doing everything you're saying and you continue like this, in 1 year you're going to make a shit ton of money doing this. And I also know the people that make all the wrong noises. I know the people that you've got to keep nudging to be on the meeting, don't do the social media content, aren't working long enough, get distracted, are drinking 3-4 nights a week. All this stuff is all the recipe for the people that aren't going to succeed. And when those people that have got those abilities and that commitment and all that, and they fucking make that wrong decision, it's bad, because there's no coming back from here. You've sent your money to someone who is going to squander it and hasn't got a product, a value or a service to deliver on what you're hoping they're going to deliver on. That's what I hate about social media at the moment.
100%. And I think that's a good note to finish on.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fucking wild. That was really good. So, where's the best place for people to find out more about you, Tyron, and what you guys do?
Yeah, so I've got my personal Insta page, Tyron Ash Official. Our website, our Insta page for the business is Tyron Ash International. That's a whole load of content of like all of the luxury real estate agents in the UK and Dubai. If anyone's interested in exploring a career in luxury real estate, please drop me a message. Our recruitment doors are open at the moment, and then obviously if you want to look at our properties, go on to tyronash.com or any of the portals. So yeah.
Awesome. Make sure you follow him, check out everything else, and if you're interested in a job in real estate,
Yes.
it's a lot of great skills and you can make a lot of money in Dubai as well.
Yes.
So big thank you to you. For everyone who enjoyed that was a fucking hell of a conversation. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, share this with a friend, and big thank you to you, dude.
Thank you. Thanks for having me as well. It's been an
pleasure.
absolute pleasure, man.
Pleasure. Thank you.